Hey, what's up? I'm Mr.Honish and welcome to my flipped classroom. Today we will look at history, culture, and modern life in China, as well as its neighbors Mongolia and Taiwan. If we go way back, Mongolia was the dominant power on Earth as Genghis Khan and his Mongol armies took over almost all of Asia, a task that anybody who plays Risk knows is darn near impossible. For the last 600 plus years, though, the only thing you really need to know is that Mongolia is now a sparsely populated desert nation, and most people are either herders or miners of some sort. Mongolia lags behind much of the world in terms of development. Meanwhile, China is well known for being the most populated country in the world with over 1.3 billion people now. Over 90% of those people identify as Han for their ethnicity and speak Mandarin for their language. Although religion is technically discouraged by the communist government currently, many Chinese identify with Confucianism and Taoism, which are really more like philosophies on how to live your life in balance and harmony while respecting family values. Now, from the end of the Mongols' golden age to the early 1900s, China was run by a rotating system of dynasties. Lots of people love to go really in depth with the accomplishments and downfalls of each dynasty and think it's important to memorize the order, but honestly, in my humble opinion, you really just need to remember that different dynasties came to power through something called the Mandate of Heaven, which was the idea that supernatural forces, or God, decided who should rule and brought the dynasties in and out of power through natural disasters or other events that essentially told the dynasties it was time for a change. That is important because many Chinese still believed in the Mandate of Heaven into the 20th century, which helps explain some of the weird government transitions that have occurred in China in the last 100 years or so. By 1911, the dynasties were out and in came a republic for the first time. A really cool dude named Sun Yat-sen had some really good ideas for the new republic, but there was too much disagreement and he didn't stay in power long enough to see it through. Instead, Chiang Kai-shek and his nationalists came to power. But there was another guy named Mao Zedong and his communists that wanted control too. Long story short, the nationalists chased the communists around China, trying to get rid of them, but on the way the communists gained support from the peasants. They took a break when Japan invaded in World War II, but returned to all-out civil war after that. The communists won that civil war and banished the nationalists to Taiwan. This leads us to the previously aforementioned I'm your dad and you disobeyed me, but also you kicked me out of my own house, which I still claim is my house, but you live in it and I live in the small studio apartment down the street type of relationship that we talked about in the physical geography video. See, the nationalists are the dad. Mainland China is the house they used to own, but the younger, fresher communists kicked them out to the tiny island of Taiwan, which is the studio apartment. The nationalists have claimed to be in control of all of China, and the communists have claimed that they are in control of Taiwan. Confused? It's okay, we all are. Just keep an eye on those two for conflict in the future. Anyway, with the communist government in place under Mao Zedong, China almost wrecked itself through a lot of poor decisions like communal farms, which starved millions of people. Since the late 1970s, the Chinese communists have done a much better job, because they're not really communists anymore. China's economy has taken off into ridiculous success by using the free market and becoming the world's manufacturing center, building everything from cheap Happy Meal toys to iPhones. Today, China has the world's second largest economy and is continuing to grow. Taiwan is making waves in the tech industry and is a leading producer of computer components too. Although their overall economy size is smaller than mainland China, their people are much wealthier on average. Now, besides the conflict between China and Taiwan, the rapid economic growth of China has given us a few other things to keep an eye on moving into the future. Rapid urbanization has led to massive amounts of pollution and terrible air quality. On the other hand, China's military has become large enough that it could potentially impose its will over anyone in the region, maybe even the world. China is definitely now considered a major world power. How they use that power in the future largely remains unseen. That's all I have for now, some things to think about, so go study, and until next time, bye-bye!